because I'm fed up with United at the moment. Hey guys, good afternoon. Welcome back to the channel, United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Hope you're all having a good Sunday afternoon. Hope you've all had a great weekend, and I hope you're all looking forward to this brand new week in August 2023 this year. First of all, do me a massive favour for me. Hit the like button, hit the share button, hit the subscribe button if you're new to the channel. That is United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Please subscribe to the channel and to the community if you're new. Share the video. Hit the tweet button, hit the retweet button, and always remember to put the notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 this year, to receive brand new content on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube for Fortnite, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, Fortnite, Rocket League, EA Sports FC 24, and much more brand new stuff planned for the rest of 2023 on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Good afternoon, all you legends. Good afternoon, all you legendary people. And welcome to Week 9 of Manchester United's 2023 Summer Transfer Window Assessment Week. The Week 9 review for Manchester United Football Club. After what was an embarrassing result yesterday to Tottenham, it is clear to see Manchester United are lacking quality in several positions in the current first team, as well as the bench options off the bench for Manchester United currently. There is not enough quality for this squad to be able to compete in Premier League football as well as Champions League competitive football in the next month in September. United yesterday were absolutely humbled and embarrassed by Tottenham in the second half on match day 2 of the 2023-2024 Premier League season, where Ten Hag has been left out to dry, fed to the wolves, and basically the owners and the board as an incompetent football club have basically gave in and didn't give Ten Hag any more money to spend in these last 2 weeks, where United have sat there and done absolutely fuck all in the transfer window. It is an absolute disgrace. It's disgusting. And it's unfair on the manager who's trying to get United back to the top to be able to compete with Man City and Arsenal and trying to get back in the Champions League again for next season. Manchester United are absolutely nowhere near the level that we are expecting as a fan base and supporters of Manchester United Football Club. The results are only going to get worse if Ten Hag is not given the money in these next 2 weeks before the transfer window slams shut in 2 weeks' time on Friday evening. United are going to have to release the money and release the pennies for Ten Hag to spend to bring in the new players that he wants. United cannot keep using all this sell to buy and financial fair play crap to get away with another embarrassing summer transfer window, when I basically said Højlund, Onana and Mason Mount was nowhere near enough to improve this current Manchester United team. United need 6 to 7 more new signings before this transfer window slams shut next weekend. And it's an absolute disgrace at the moment, the way Manchester United act like they're a big football club, a successful football club, and act like they think they know best. The owners and the board have thrown this manager under the bus. They've not given him the money. They've not given him the signings, and they've not given him the players I think Ten Hag deserves on merit and credit, especially the season when we had last season, where we won the Carabao Cup, we got back into the Champions League and got top 4, and United were back in Europe's elite competition. And at the moment, United are unprepared, we're unfit, and there's no energy currently in that first team for Manchester United to be able to beat the competitors we are facing up against in the next few weeks. United have got to do some business in these next 2 weeks. United are going to have to be ruthless. They're going to have to be brutal. Manchester United have got to do more in these next 2 weeks. And if they sit there and do nothing for 3 weeks, it's an absolute joke. It's an absolute disgrace. And I feel sorry for the fans and the supporters of Manchester United, because the way United are treating this fan base and these supporters of this great historic football club, it's an absolute shambles. It's disgusting. And Man United have got no right treating everyone like shit on the bottom of someone's shoe. United think they know everything, and they think they know what's best for everybody connected with Manchester United. This board and this owners have used financial fair play all summer to get away with an embarrassing summer transfer window. Onana, Mount and Højlund is not enough to be able to challenge Arsenal. It's not enough to be able to challenge Manchester City. It's not enough to be able at the moment to even compete with Brighton, who are top of the Premier League. We're already 3 points worse off than we were last season at this stage. United should have won that game yesterday with the chances that we created on that Tottenham penalty area in Tottenham's box. United did not take their opportunity, and we faced the agony of another 2-0 away defeat, where the away form last season hindered Manchester United's progress, and we basically had to rely on our home form at Old Trafford to get us out of this mess. And Man United are in a mess. It's absolute chaos. It is a nightmare behind the scenes at Old Trafford. And at the moment, I cannot see results getting any better if Ten Hag is not given new signings this week. United can't just sit there and do nothing, because you've done that for the last 2 weeks. You've sat there, done fuck all, probably sat on Football Manager eating a big fucking pack of Doritos like that, doing fuck all to remove Deadwood and bring new players in. United are typical of this. Whenever the going gets tough and a bad result occurs, Manchester United always dip into the transfer market. They always end up having to panic buy. And Man United are typical of this, and it wouldn't surprise me if business was to happen this week. But at the moment, I'm not hindering my bets. I'm not hindering Man United will do anything at this rate, because you know what this football club is like. They know how to treat the fans. They know how to treat the supporters. They are going to try and spin an absolute positive out of this result yesterday, and they'll make new signings to get the supporters and the fans off the back of the owners and this incompetent board surrounded by Richard Arnold and John Murtough, who people praise them, saying they've had a good job this summer. They've not caved into the club's demands. They managed to get money off the deals that Man United has so far sanctioned. Absolute ludicrous. You're basically talking out your ass if you think John Murtough and Richard Arnold are good at their job. They're an absolute joke. They're an absolute bunch of useless tossers that couldn't organise a piss up on a brewery for the best man's idea planning for the man who's getting married the next day to his dream girl. It is an absolute disgrace. The way Manchester United act like Mr. Billy Big Bollocks. They don't want to overspend. We're not going to overpay. We're not going to be held to ransom. Man United have got no quality in that squad. You saw it yesterday, not just in the midfield, not just in the attack, not just in the defence. It was fucking everywhere. And after yesterday, I am so angry. I'm disappointed the way we performed and the way we were outclassed in that second half, where Man United basically gave up and threw the towel in and basically shat on all those fans and supporters. After 20 minutes into the second half, the United fans walked out because they know the standards of those players are on the floor again in season 2. I deeply fear for Erik ten Hag. This history is going to repeat itself all over again. History is going to repeat itself. They did this to Van Gaal. They did this to Mourinho. They did this to Solskjaer. They did this to Rangnick. You've got to go with the same squad again because the squad's already got too many players in. And unfortunately, I want Manchester United to be better. Manchester United should be beating teams like Tottenham, who have basically sold their best player in Harry Kane, and Tottenham still beat us. It shows the shambles Manchester United Football Club are. It shows how incompetent we are as a football club. It shows how slow we are about doing deals. It says how slow we are about removing Deadwood, like Harry Maguire, Scott McTominay, Eric Bailly, Anthony Martial, Donny van der Beek. How many more players at this club are going to be given a lifeline to prove themselves in a Manchester United shirt? It's an absolute disgrace that half this Deadwood is still given an opportunity to prove themselves, when we all deep down know under Rangnick and Solskjaer, these players were absolutely fucking useless. These players needed removing this summer, and United have only sold Fred, Elanga, Telles, Sedan Iqbal, Charlie Savage. That's all basically Manchester United have done so far. And I am reading your chat. You said United were 3 points worse than this time last year, which is false. We lost our first 2 matches last season. Calm down. We've only had 2 bad games. Lost my subscription, lad. Not reading the chat. I'm actually reading your chats as it goes in. I think United are in a worse position. We're currently 10th in the Premier League behind Brentford, Brighton, Nottingham Forest. We're all behind them due to Manchester United's incapability of being able to act like a big football club and sign some fucking players. It is an absolute disgrace. United have sat there the last 2 weeks and done fuck all in the transfer market. It is an absolute disgrace the way Manchester United act. And please don't unsubscribe, Osin, because you're a big, big part of this channel. You're a big, big part of this community, and you're one of my managing moderators. Please stay subscribed to the channel, my friend, because you are an absolute legend. And I've known you for a while now, and you're one of the best people on this channel. I am reading your chat. I'm just deeply frustrated. I'm deeply annoyed with Manchester United. That performance yesterday speaks volumes about how far we are behind Man City. We are so far behind Arsenal. We are so far behind everyone else in the league due to Man United's incapability of being able to back this fucking manager. It is an absolute disgrace. They've done nothing for the last 2 weeks. They sat there and done no signings. No Deadwood has been removed. No one has been sold. And United think that they are better than everyone else in the transfer market. We're meant to be the most successful English football club of all time ever. We are not anywhere near that level anymore. We are basically trying to compete with Aston Villa and teams like Everton and Luton. Man United are falling off a mile. We are falling off so far behind our rivals. We are falling off like a tree. We are falling down like a rainforest being cut down by poachers. It is an absolute disgrace at the moment. The performances are showing it on the pitch. Harry Maguire, we had a 30 million bid accepted by West Ham, and Harry Maguire turned down the move because he wanted to fight for his place at Manchester United because he thinks he's better than everyone else, and he thinks he's still at the level that he thinks he's good enough to be included in Erik ten Hag's team. Man United should have been ruthless and told Harry Maguire to go fuck himself and told him, you're not staying at this club. You are not holding us to ransom. We are getting rid of you. You're not good enough. You're going to be sold. You're not a captain. We need you to move on. We desperately need to remove Harry Maguire because he is one of the big problems in this Man United dressing room. I know he wasn't in the squad yesterday due to an apparent injury. Harry Maguire was not fucking injured. Harry Maguire was using that because Ten Hag basically told him, you're not part of my plans. I want you to be sold. I'm not going to put you in a team. And Ten Hag has got every bloody right to put Harry Maguire out of this team because he's one of the leeches and snakes in the dressing room that is going to cause problems for Manchester United. We then move on to Scott McTominay, who also, we had a 30 million bid rejected by West Ham because Manchester United did not want to sell him. Scott McTominay is another problem in that United dressing room. 30 million bid from West Ham, and Manchester United say no. They don't want to keep, they want to keep him basically because they think he's better than Fred. He's better than Donny van der Beek, and he's a feature in Man United's first team. Scott McTominay has only played about 20 minutes of Premier League football when he came on against Wolves in the previous home game, which we won 1-0, luckily. Yesterday, Scott McTominay was surplus to requirements. Basically, another clear message from Ten Hag to say, get the fuck out. He is not good enough, Scott McTominay. Another one who is going to cause problems for Manchester United if we keep carrying on. Honestly, it's an absolute joke the way we are favouritising some of these players again. It's unfair on Ten Hag where he wants a clear vision and a clear identity and a clear way of playing. But Ten Hag cannot be able to do that due to the pure fact that Man United are keeping players like this that they think they know they can get better offers from. At the moment, I cannot see any other club coming back in for Scott McTominay. I cannot see any other club coming back in for Harry Maguire because they're useless. No one's going to pay the overvalued fees that Man United are looking for. No one's going to pay it because those clubs are not stupid. They've got a brain up here. They know what to do. They are not going to give in and bend over for Manchester United to give them the money that they want. It's an absolute disgrace the way we are acting. We are acting like a really competent club. We're not. We are massively incompetent. I see some of this fan base and supporters praising John Murtough, praising Richard Arnold, saying, look at a job they've done this summer. They've been so efficient in this transfer window. Look at the deals they've done for the players we've signed so far. We overpaid for Rasmus Højlund. Mason Mount's a waste of space. Onana's basically our best player. Rasmus Højlund's injured. So Man United cannot come out and say, well, we've had a good transfer window. You not need to stop moaning. You need to stop overreacting. We're using financial fair play because we're covering up for the Glazers' incompetence where the money is not there when the board know the money is actually there. I've got a source close to Manchester United who keeps telling me the money is there to spend. All this financial fair play is a load of fucking bollocks. It is a load of bollocks. Man United have used this as an excuse because Man United do not want to cough up because they think the current United first team is good enough to go again. It's not good enough to go again. It's a joke. It is an absolute disgrace that Ten Hag is basically been left hanged out to dry, where he is demanding new signings this week and next. And United have got to obey. They've got a duty of care and an obligation to back this manager who is under contract. It's an absolute disgrace that Ten Hag is not being given the tools, all the money, all the funding to be able to fix United slump in this transfer window. United can't sit there and do nothing. It's unfair. It really, really is unfair. If United fail to do anything next week, that's week 10 of 3 weeks with nothing. And Man United think that's acceptable. It's not acceptable. It's a bloody disgrace. It really, really is a disgrace. And United should be ashamed of themselves. United should hang their heads up and be open and honest about the situation going on. Because at the moment, the situation is throw the manager under the bus. Third season in, they sack him and the recycle begins all over again. And that's what's going to happen to Ten Hag. If I was Erik Ten Hag, I'd be telling that board, you get me Amrabat this week. You bring me in Gravenberch this week. You sell Scott McTominay. You sell Harry Maguire and get rid of them. That's 60 fucking million. We could get a striker and another midfielder and maybe another midfielder then on loan. And then what I would do, Eric Bailly, who is still at this club since the days of Mourinho, is still here. Offers from Fulham and Saudi Arabia are on the table for Eric Bailly. Why neither of those moves have happened is due to the fact that Eric Bailly thinks he deserves a payoff because he's been at the club so long and he's contributed towards United's success. Eric Bailly has got no right demanding and holding this club to ransom, demanding a payoff so he can move out the club and to be sold. That's fairness, is it? Because at the moment, that isn't fair. That is shambolic from Eric Bailly to do that. But Man United have got themselves into this situation where they should have just sold Eric Bailly permanently last summer. We might have had a bit more money to spend and we potentially might have to let him go for free, which is on Man United's shoulders again. And I tell you what, the pressure Ten Hag is under now, if Eric Bailly is still here at the end of the transfer window, my God, we've got another centre-back who's probably on over 100 grand a week, who's surplus to requirements and won't be even in the first team. Erik Ten Hag has got to be ruthless this week and tell the board, you need these Muppets removing. You need to sell them. You cannot afford to keep these players at Manchester United Football Club. It's not acceptable. I need players in this week. And Ten Hag is doing the best what he can. He's basically having to deal with shit behind the scenes, players he doesn't want, and he's having to use those players because he hasn't got the options he really needs to be able to take this team forward. And I've said this all before. They did this with every other manager and all those managers were sacked. And the board are doing it to Ten Hag now because Ten Hag's system of play has been figured out by our rivals how to shut down Manchester United. That midfield needs at least another 2. We need another striker, so that's 3. We need a decent right back who can actually put a ball into the box and defend. We need a backup goalkeeper because Dean Henderson, another one. Apparently, Crystal Palace have made their interest this morning on a loan deal. I'm sorry. If I'm Manchester United, I'd be telling Crystal Palace we're not doing a loan deal. It's got to be a permanent, and we want 20 million. And Crystal Palace will have every right to tell Man United we are not paying 20, 25 million for Dean Henderson, who's hardly featured at all this season because he's been useless on the bench. He's probably got super glue stuck to his ass. Dean Henderson's another one. They need to recruit the money and get a reserve goalkeeper in. There's plenty available, and I'm not being funny. I would bring De Gea back. De Gea is sat there on a free. Would you bring De Gea back as a backup to Onana? I think I probably would. I know the club have handled the De Gea situation very, very badly. I know the way we've treated De Gea with the contract is disgusting. But would De Gea give United a second chance to say, look, I'll come back, I'll be the reserve on reduced terms? Because that removes Dean Henderson and that removes Tom Heaton. That might be something United could consider, but I doubt they're going to do it because Ten Hag does not rate David De Gea and they wanted him gone. Has that affected the morale in the dressing room? Is another talking point. Is the morale out the window? It probably is because of how bad our first 2 results have been. We could have had 6 points from 6 in our first 2 and we've only got 3. I'm embarrassed by yesterday's result. I'm disgusted with that performance. I'm disgusted with those players. I cannot trust them. I do not trust those players. I don't trust this board. I don't trust the owners. The only guy I trust at this club is our manager, Erik ten Hag. He's the only guy I've got any credibility for or respect for because he's trying to do a job by being bent backwards by the owners of the board that come up with all these excuses not to splash the money. United have got no right telling the manager that because especially when you have spent in excess of 170 million so far in this transfer window. You've got no right telling him, oh, there's no more money. But you've spent 170 million. So there must be money you're keeping back. And the problem is, where's that 165 million gone when we finished 3rd in the Premier League? Where's that 165 million gone? I bet that's gone straight into the Glazers' back pocket. So money is there. Don't believe all the financial fair play crap. Do not believe we have to sell to buy. It's bullshit to cover up all the mess United are in. It's to cover up all the mess, and United are in a mess. It's a disgrace. Behind the scenes, it's absolute chaos. And I feel sorry for everyone, but it's the fan supporters and the manager I feel sorry for. I've got no sympathy for that squad. I've got no sympathy for those players. They embarrassed us yesterday. They down-tooled and gave up on everyone connected with the club because they think they're better than everybody else. They're not better than everyone else. They are showing to the world that that squad has gone back into the shell it was under Solskjaer. It's gone back into the shell it was under Ralf Rangnick. That is what's happened already. And it's embarrassing. It really, really is fucking embarrassing. And at the moment, if Man United do not act this week, you're going to look at this next Sunday afternoon, evening again, and United have done fuck all. United cannot afford to do not anything this week. You've got to spend the money. We don't need to sell to buy. You need to remove the dead wood this week. It's got to happen, and players have got to come in. You can't keep using excuses to hide behind your incompetence. It's an absolute pantomime. And no wonder the fans and the supporters are so fed up. We're all fed up because United are so fucking incompetent. It's a disgrace. It's an absolute disgrace. The way United have acted all summer long. There was no clear plan. There was no clear vision since that FA Cup final defeat to Man City where United lost 2-1. There was no clear identity what Manchester United were fucking doing. And it says a lot. It really, really says a lot about Man United's levels of incapacity and incompetence. We need new owners in. That's the only way United get out of this. We need the Qataris to come in and buy the fucking football club because that's the only way United are going to be successful. We need money. We do need money, but money is there. Don't believe all these reporters like Samuel Lutkers, Laurie Whitwell, David Ornstein, and Samuel Lutkers. Do not believe them that we have to sell to buy, because they're basically on the payroll with the Glazers because they work for the club. They're on the payroll. They have to report this incompetence. They have to report the bullshit to cover up for the Glazers' incompetence, because if they were to slag the club off and slam the club down, they basically know they would be out of a job for in the press room at Man United for future games. United, at the moment, are a laughing stock. We're an absolute joke. And I'm not overreacting. I'm speaking facts. I'm speaking the truth. United have done this deliberately. United have done this on purpose to throw Ten Hag under the bus. They've done it on purpose. They look at that team, and the Glazers and the owners probably and the board think, well, the team is good enough already. You've got players already available playing in the United first team week in, week out, and you're demanding more, Eric. Well, the money ain't there, Eric. Well, the money is there, isn't it? Because if you spent 170 million, I'm surely thinking there's another 100, 120 sat there we could actually spend and have a net spend of 300 million. United are going to have to do some business. Do I think anything is going to happen in the next few weeks? Do I honestly think United are going to do anything? At the moment, I haven't got the confidence. I have not got the confidence, the belief, and the positivity. United are going to do anything this week. I do not believe anything will happen. The only thing I think will happen is that Manchester United basically they basically are going to have to sell. Are they going to sell any players this week? You're going to have to hope they do. They are going to have to hope they do. McTominay, Maguire, Bailly all need removing this week, as well as Dean Henderson. Donny van der Beek is another one surplus to requirements at Manchester United. Needs to be told it has to be a permanent move to Real Sociedad or any other club. And Fabrizio Romano tweeted last night that Man United are not done in this transfer market. Well, I would advise Manchester United to get a fucking move on. I would tell them to start moving and start being proactive in this transfer window and sign some players, because we're going to need it. We are going to need it in the next few weeks. We need to be working on deals today. That needs to happen behind the scenes. We need to start working on some deals. Amrabat is sat there waiting to be brought. He is desperate for the move to Manchester United. He's fucking desperate to move here. He wants to move to Man United, and he's waited nearly a month for the move. He's nearly waited 6 fucking weeks. And Man United have told him, be patient, be patient, be patient. Calm down, we'll get you, we'll sign you. But you haven't, though. You've sat there and made him wait because you need to sell. Why can't you just get the Amrabat deal done and then sell? Because clearly the money's there. You've got the money from Elanga, Telles and Fred and Kovar, the 4th choice goalkeeper that you sold to Bayer Leverkusen for 9 million. You got 13 million for Fred, 9 million for Kovar, so that's 22. You got 6 million for Telles, so that's 28. You're telling me the money isn't there? Well, clearly I've just summed it all up quite quickly. The Telles money's there, the Fred money's there, and so is Elanga. And you're telling me, oh, the money ain't there. Even the Elanga money. So that's Telles 6, Fred 13. So that's 19. You sold Kovar for 9, so that's 28. 15 million for Elanga. That's 43. You're telling me the money isn't there for Amrabat. It would not surprise me if that move doesn't happen, because he's going to get so fed up and so impatient of Man United taking forever to get the deal done. I feel sorry for Amrabat. I feel sorry for his friends, his family, especially him and his agents, who are probably right now putting pressure on Man United to get that deal done, because Amrabat is not going to wait around forever. And United have got a duty to get him. Personal terms were agreed in June. We are now nearly in September. The transfer window shuts in 2 weeks. United better bring him in this week. We also have been linked with Ryan Gravenberch. I would take him in a heartbeat if they can get rid of McTominay and Donny van de Beek. I think you're going to have to United and Maguire. If we can get Gravenberch in permanently as well as Amrabat, there's money there for both those midfielders to be an addition to United's future long term. Gravenberch, for me, would have to go straight into the first team as well as Amrabat, because that midfield yesterday in Mount, in Casemiro and Fernandes was absolutely shocking. Those 3 players alone were getting drawn apart by Tottenham, by James Maddison, who United should have gone for. I really wanted James Maddison. I really wanted him. I really wanted James Maddison at Manchester United. I wanted United to sign him. And United said, no, we want Mason Mount. We're going to pay 60-odd million for an ex-Chelsea reject. I would have rather had Maddison and another midfielder. United could have got Amrabat and Maddison for 60 fucking million. 2 players for 1 position. It's just United prioritising the wrong players. But if Ten Hag sees something at Mason Mount, I've got to back the manager and I've got to back his views on the player. And if he thinks Mason Mount's going to add something, great. But yesterday, 2 games in a row, he is absolutely shit. And they've given him the number 7 shirt as well, which legacy is now basically in the bin because United have given him that iconic number on the back of his chest. It's an absolute mess. It really, really is. And then you see rumours of this morning again that Anthony Martial and apparently Saudi Arabian clubs are going to put a massive, massive bid in for Anthony Martial to sign him for Man United. Well, I'm hoping that's true as well because at the moment, United also need another striker. It's not just a midfield. We need another striker. There are options out there. But if United are targeting 30-year-old strikers, you're basically bringing in a BTEC Cavani 2.0 to get you to the end of the season again. That ain't fair. There are younger strikers out there United could target. There really is. If you look at in the Championship, you look at the strikers that United could get. Che Adams from Southampton. I would take him in a heartbeat. I would take Che Adams from Southampton. If United could do a loan deal with an option to buy, I would take Che Adams to put him down the line to put the ball in the net for United. I really would. I know that might seem short term, but at the moment, United need another striker because Martial can't do it. Rashford prefers to be playing down the left, and he ain't a striker. And you saw yesterday, his deployment down the middle as a striker. It does not work. And United wonder why we don't score goals. Well, there's your answer. You're playing Marcus Rashford down the middle when he's not a striker. And no wonder I do not rate the guy. He's too focused getting all these free school meals done for people. It's an absolute shambles. Marcus Rashford was awful yesterday, and you could see the reaction when he came off. He wasn't happy. And I think he knows. He is frustrated the way he's being deployed in the team at the moment because at the moment, Erik ten Hag got no option. He is sticking with the front 3 of Anthony, Garnacho and Rashford, who he thinks good enough to lead the line. Sorry, but Ten Hag has to take some responsibility for that. But it's kind of not his fault. He hasn't got a striker he can rely on. There are strikers out there available. Would we take Lukaku back on loan? There's an option. Would you take João Felix? Another option. Would you take Che Adams? I think I would. Would you go to Sporting Lisbon and say, can we have Gyökeres on loan? Because you look at the impact he's had for Sporting Lisbon since he signed from Coventry. United could have done with that type of striker. We don't have that striker. And it's going to be interesting to see if United do go for a striker and Martial offers do come in. But every bit of money that United have sold from a player should really be going back into the team. It really should be going into the results and the transfers that other players United want, but United just seem reluctant to spend. And it's because of the excuses they're hiding behind. It is the excuses that Manchester United are hiding behind. They want to get away with another transfer that's been a joke. Rasmus Højlund alone, he's already got enough pressure on his shoulders and he's only fucking 20. He's younger than me. He's 20. He's only 20 years old. And he's got the pressure on his shoulders on the world at the moment because he's our leading goal scorer. He's our striker we're meant to be having. We haven't got him available because he's injured. It's just an absolute car crash. United summer transfer window, if people think it's been an 8 or a 9 out of 10, I would seriously fucking recommend get your eyes tested at Boots Opticians or stop watching United blind, because I see the issues in that team. I see the problems. United are a shambles all over the pitch. There ain't no effort. There ain't no dedication. There ain't no passion. That team's lacking energy. That team is not fit. And we've gone about, we had such a great pre-season. Everyone was scoring goals. You look at the team dynamic. Well, since then, we've looked average. We haven't had a good pre-season. We didn't have all our new signings on tour. So what was Ten Hag meant to do? He was having to use youngsters who are not good enough. Hannibal Mabry is another example. He's nowhere near the first team. Why don't we just sell him and get some money? Amad Diallo is injured. Sell him and get some money. Palestri, sell him, get some money. United are going to have a dim view of this and look at this from a bigger point. You have got to sell off this team. I would sell all those players that played yesterday in a heartbeat. I would sell all of them. Probably except Varane and Onana. I think Martinez, Casemiro and Fernandes are all very, very good players. I think Garnacho is a good player. Rashford I don't rate. I think Anthony could be a world beater because how good he is. But at the moment, the way we performed yesterday and the way Spurs dominated us, I would sell all of them and bring a whole new team in. I would have a complete rebuild. If I was the manager of this club, I would be telling the board, I want all these up for sale. All of them. Put all of them up for sale. Because that is what I would be doing to get United fighting for their futures. These players know their future's on the lines in the next 2 weeks. But if Man United can get some serious offers of Maguire, McTominay, Dean Henderson, Eric Bailly, Donny van der Beek, and Brandon Williams is another one. Donny van der Beek and Brandon Williams. Even Romano said this. Ten Hag said this. They're not in the team today due to their futures are lying away from Old Trafford. I'm telling you now, if United only do loan deals for Donny van der Beek and Brandon Williams, there is no money. How can they spend money on the midfield when they're only loaning them? I mean, would you terminate the players that need to be sold? Would you terminate their contracts and United pay them off? Would you do it? Is another question. Would you do it and be ruthless as hell and tell the board, terminate these players' contracts and just get rid of them? If I was Ten Hag, I would recommend doing it. I would seriously tell this board, it's either me or them. I either resign and leave you lot in a complete mess, and I've got every right to walk away, or you buy me the players I want, you get me the signings I need in the next 2 weeks, and we fight for all fronts for the rest of the season. I'd be putting the club on a deadline here. I want Amrabat in this week. I want Gravenberch in. I want Maguire, McTominay, Dean Henderson, Eric Bailly, Donny van der Beek and Brandon Williams sold. I then want a striker. I then want a right back. And I want a backup goalkeeper. United are going to have to deliver 5 signings in 2 weeks. Anything is possible if United can act quick. But the way we've inefficiently handled the whole transfer window, United are not going to be quick. United are going to be slow as anything, but they always react when a bad result happens. And it wouldn't surprise if we do. It would not surprise me in the slightest that United respond and they do it very quickly because they know the pressure the fans and supporters are putting on the club. But the club do not listen to the fans. They don't listen to the supporters. They don't give a shit about me. They don't give a shit about every other Man United fan. They don't give a toss about anyone except themselves. And it's sad. It really is sad that the club has got no care for its fans or supporters. A National League club treats its fans better. It does. A National League club like Wealdstone or AFC Fylde or Boreham Wood, they treat their fans better than the way United treat their fans. I would rather watch National League football than continue watching this shit every week because there's ambition. There is ambition at National League clubs to get into the Football League. United, it's jobs for the boys. It's Mates Rates FC, and John Mercer and Richard Arnold are responsible for this shit.
because they need to tell the Glazers, we need the money. We are on edge with Ten Hag now. He's telling us, get us his signings, but you're not releasing the funds. And the Glazers are going to have to do it. They have run this club badly for the last 18 years, and I get it. They have destroyed this football club for every penny that they've bled dry. If they've got any remorse, or if they've got any understanding, back the fucking manager and sign some players this week and next week. United have got to act. United have got to act. If they don't act, we are in big trouble. We are in big trouble of this season being a downward spiral and we go further and further down the table. That could happen if United are inefficient these next 2 weeks. This transfer window has been shit. I'm only giving it a 3 out of 10. I'm sorry, that's all I'm giving it. I can't give it more than a 5. I can't. I am not satisfied with the business we've done. We were told this is going to be a completely different transfer window. And you see fans getting their dicks out about it, saying, oh, look at this transfer window. We've never had a transfer window like this before. Look how great United have been. We've got rid of Deadwood. We're bringing players in. We look so good now. We're finally getting a brand new Manchester United. Based on the evidence alone, none of that's happened. None of that's happened. We're not a new Manchester United. We're the same old shit with the same old excuses. United are just purely shit at every bit of job the club are trying to do. There is no understanding. There is no care. There is no listening to the fans. There's no listening to supporters. And I tell you what, whatever Ten Hag says to them, it's probably just going over their shoulders in one ear and out the other. Especially with a fan like me who's got an ear infection, a really sore throat, nearly losing my voice, potentially got a cold coming as well. So all three at once. I actually listen to the fans. I listen to the supporters. I respect every other Manchester United fan out there. You're all legends. You're all legendary. We are the best supported club in the world because of the fan base, because of you loyal Man United supporters. But at the moment, the fans and supporters were all arguing amongst each other because we're just so fed up with the results. We've not had a good start to the season. We've been shit. We should have lost to Wolves and we should have lost to Tottenham. And we did. We should have lost to Wolves. And yesterday we lost. We should be on 0 points bottom of the league. We are basically turning into a basement club. We are turning into a basement. All the shit that we've got in the house we don't use, or antiques that we don't want to put in the house, we are basically been put in the basement. We are in that basement of shit, and we cannot dig ourselves out, and we know we're going to be stuck in there for years and years to come. And it's a sad truth. United are falling again. It's not because of Ten Hag. I am not blaming him for the result yesterday. I am not blaming Ten Hag for the result. I am not blaming the manager. It's not his fault. Yes, he has got to take some responsibility. I get it. And I see some of the comments he's making, it sounds like he's Solskjaer. And I get that. I get that view. I understand people's views and opinions on that. But if this manager would have been backed properly, we might have had a different outcome in our first 2 games. We might have put Wolves to the sword. We might have destroyed Tottenham yesterday. I think we've only got Nottingham Forest at home, Arsenal away, and then Brighton at home in our next 3 games. I mean, what could go wrong? Well, I tell you what could go wrong is United don't sign any more players. And they are inefficient in the next 2 weeks of the transfer window. That is the sad truth. That is the sad, sad truth United have got themselves into. And it is sad. It is really, really sad that United are doing this to themselves because this is typically the same old Manchester United. We're not a football club. We are a business. It's all about the money. It's all about the revenue. And it's all about the profit. As long as all 3 of those things are clicking and ticking off, United are going to be happy. As long as some fans who call themselves Man United fans continue to buy shirts, carry on renewing their season tickets, and carry on buying the new kit, you are part of the problem. You are part of the problem along with the Glazers. You're basically Glazer in, and you all might as well buy yourself T-shirts and put I'm a Glazer in. Because at the moment, that's another problem. We are putting too much money into this club. The Glazers are then taking it straight back out. And the Glazers don't care. They're probably sat there laughing right now. Oh, look at us losing again. Ha, ha, ha. Look at the money we've just made. Fuck you all. That's what is going on. That is what is going wrong. That is what is going wrong. It's an absolute sinking ship. It's an absolute sinking ship. And that ship is going to sink quicker than the Titanic. And that ship, United are papering over the cracks. United are papering over the cracks again. It's a sad situation. We thought we've changed. I knew we haven't. I've not seen evidence that we've changed. We have not changed. We have gone back to being the same old inefficient United. We shouldn't even call ourselves Man United because that club is not United. The players look fed up. The players look miserable. Ten Hag looks angry. And the board and the owners are sat there laughing their socks off because they don't care. They want to see this team crumble. They want to see Man United fall away. They want to see us struggle. And if we don't sign any players in these next 2 weeks, I'm going to say now, United are going to end up in a relegation battle. And I'm being serious. I'm not overthinking this. If United do not deliver any players in these next 2 weeks in this transfer window, United are going to be fighting relegation. And it could happen. It's happened once. Could it happen again? It probably could. But the manager has got to be backed. United have got an obligation to do it. They've got a duty of care to back this manager and listen to him and get him what he wants. United have not done that. And Kim Min-jae didn't get him the Harry Kane, didn't give him Osman, and basically said, Ten Hag, fuck you. You're not having any money. We'll get you Hoyland and Onana amount, but that's about it. That ain't a good transfer window because there's 3 players he also wanted you said no to. How can you say it's a good transfer window? How can you say that was a good transfer window? It's embarrassing. It is fucking embarrassing. And United should hang your head in shame for the way you have acted all summer. You're blaming the manager, but you don't improve the squad and the players that we need, and you don't sell the deadwood. Yeah, that's really backing the manager, isn't it? You don't sell the deadwood and you don't bring the players in that he needs. That's really backing the manager. It's not. That is throwing him under the bus, feeding him to the wolves and hanging him out to dry. And we all know what happens. Second season syndrome hits. Third season, the manager is sacked. The whole recycle thing is happening again. And it will happen. We will be on our 7th manager in about 11 years. That is what's going to happen. I can see it happening. If I was Ten Hag now, and the board are saying we're not signing any players this week, we're not doing any transfer business, you can screw yourself, Ten Hag. I'd be writing, I would be resigning. Like, right, here's our resignation. Fuck your football club. I care about these fans. I care about your supporters, but you clearly don't. I want to get this team to be successful on the pitch. You ain't giving me the players I want. You've not sold the deadwood. I am not happy. It was in my contract that you get me the players and the signings I want. You give me the money I need. I will get this club to where it needs to be. And United have failed with all 3 of those things. If I was Man United manager and I would be appointed as the club's manager, I'd be demanding 500 to 600 million last summer, 500 to 600 million again this summer, and then in January 2024, I want another 200 to 300 million. That is how it should work. United have got money. United are too scared to spend the money. They are sell to buy and financial fair play bullshitters. And fans and supporters of Man United are falling for it. You are falling for their PR and you're believing them. You're basically getting your little violins out, and you're playing onto the Glazers and the board's beat. That you believe their theories, you believe their views, you believe their opinions, and you fall for it. And who pays the ultimate price? Well, it's the results on the pitch, and then the manager is then sacked. I don't want Ten Hag gone. I am fully behind this manager, but he needs to be backed properly. And that needs to happen this week. It needs to happen this week. We need new signings today and tomorrow, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, right up till next weekend. We need 5 to 6 players in this week, and 5 to 6 need to be sold. United have got to be ruthless. Will Man United do it? I don't know. I do not know if this club will do it. They're going to have to, because the results on the pitch will get worse, and the atmosphere and the dressing room vibe is going to be all over, be shattered, be broken glass again. We are falling apart, and it's worrying. 2 games in, and it looks like this is falling apart. That's my deep concern with this club. History is clearly repeating itself. The club is broken and Ten Hag is facing the consequences, which isn't fair. That ain't fair on anyone. The fans and supporters are suffering. We're arguing amongst ourselves and each other because we all want what is best for the club and we can't agree. Do I think United are going to do anything this week before we end the video? I think Amrabat's got to come in. I think Gravenberch's got to come in as well, and we need a striker. I think those three things have to be done this week. Donny van der Beek, Eric Bailly, Scott McTominay, Harry Maguire, Dean Henson, Martial, they all need to be sold, and they've got to be sold quick. United have got to do 8 deals in a week. They've got to do something because they'll try and spin a positive after this weekend's result against Tottenham. They know the result was damaging, and they're seeing the response from the fans and supporters that they're not happy. We're never going to be happy. And things could only get better, but I don't think it will. But time will tell what happens. I just don't want to be sat in the same position next Sunday evening talking about what the fuck are United doing? What the fuck is going on? I don't want to be doing that, but it wouldn't surprise me if nothing happens this week or next week and the window shuts and we don't bring anyone in. That wouldn't surprise me because United are typically good at doing that and throwing the manager under the bus. So I'm going to leave it there. Hit the like button, the share button. Please keep subscribing to the channel. United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. Share the video. Hit the tweet button. Hit the retweet button. And to always remember, put the notification bell on at all times to receive dedicated content right throughout the rest of 2023 this year on United Red Devils 20 on YouTube. For more Fortnite content, Hogwarts Legacy, Kingdom Hearts 4, Rocket League, EA Sports FC 24, FIFA 23, more previews, more match reactions. We've got the Champions League group stage draw live watch on, and in 2 weeks' time we'll be doing that live. And then, we've got the preview for the Nottingham Forest game for Man United's upcoming third game of the 2023-2024 Premier League season Wednesday evening after I've seen my brother. So I've got the preview for the Nottingham Forest game Wednesday evening. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'm going to go and have a nice rest and enjoy the rest of my weekend. Stay safe, be nice, be kind to each other. You're all legends, you're all legendary. Please keep subscribing to the channel. Let's hope United do some business this week, but I'm not holding my breath, we will. Thanks for watching.